You know what I'm saying?
I know,
we'll talk about the food. I mean, we're gonna eat together.
Yeah, okay.
I don't mean that. I just was, you know.
Like, I've eaten this so many times, man.
No.
Ready? Here we go. Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Czech Service Industry Podcast. I'm Reyshan Parker, and I would tell you to go watch my TV show, but instead, I'm going to tell you to go to Noble Roots and hang out with this my fantastic guest, Chef Chris, who once upon a time was a dishwasher. Magically, after a lot of hard work and time and blood, sweat, tears, burns, cuts, and everything else imaginable, he has this beautiful restaurant that we're at today in Pooler, Georgia. Noble Roots. Chef Chris, thank you for letting me be here.
Thanks, man. It's so good to be down here. You know, Noble Roots was started about 90 days before I got here, and they did. Patrick, the owner, and I were very friendly competitors in the Green Bay market. So I had, you know, a restaurant called Scallywags, and he had the Creamery. And you know, I say every time, I remember him walking into my restaurant and us shaking hands, and his beautiful wife, and there was just a connection there. That we knew something was going to happen down the road. It took 12 years and you know, and the coronavirus to make it all happen, but
it happened, and we're here.
Yeah. So, you know, out of I very much believe, you know, when one door shuts, another one opens, and Patrick was lucky enough to get out before everything got shut down in Wisconsin. Sold his restaurants. You know, some of us suffered through, and I had 5 restaurants at one time, and then down to 1, and I came down and hung out with him here in Pooler and shut the last one down and jumped in my truck, and here we are.
Whole new chapter of the journey.
Yes.
Huh? Whole new chapter. Awesome. Well, you prepared us a couple things to eat today, which is super exciting because I'm personally starving. What do we have? We got this beautiful salad. What do we got here?
So grilled romaine. You know, sometimes out of mistakes come great menu items, and this was definitely one of them. You know, I was chefing down in out in Arizona, and we were doing an outdoor barbecue, and I dropped a piece of romaine on that hot grill, and it rolled across, and all of a sudden it had these beautiful grill marks on it, and next thing you know, we're like making something cool.
So so what's all going on here? We have charred grilled romaine.
Yep, and then some really great blue cheese, and then some artisan bacon out of Montana, and red onions. Because I'm from Georgia, when I first was developing the recipe, I wanted to use Vidalia onions, but they turned this ugly color of gray, and it just didn't look cool, and so we started using red onions, and I've had it in every restaurant I've ever had since then.
Did you drop the romaine next to a burger and you were like, all right, blue cheeseburger on the romaine salad? Yeah. That's what's happening.
So I have that recipe on YouTube so people can do it at home. It's, you know, super simple and beautiful, and
nice.
And
what's
super
the YouTube?
Sexy. Scallywags.
Scallywags on YouTube.
Scallywags.
I say it again.
Scallywags.
Scallywags.
Yeah.
Google it.
Yeah.
Cool. And then what else we got here? We got
So opening night of my first Scallywags, where we did New Orleans pasta, because I could get beautiful shrimp and beautiful sausage, and I had she crab bisque, which is the sauce, and it just came together. And after that opening night, I was in a grocery store like 20 miles away, and the lady checking me out says, "Scallywags, is that new place with that pasta?" And I was like, "We have a hit."
So the famous Scallywags pasta.
Yeah.
Nice. What's all in here?
Shrimp, big beautiful shrimp, big beautiful andouille, red onions, multicolored peppers, and super sexy pappardelle noodles. You know,
super sexy pappardelle.
I love big noodles. I love, you know, just that the plating, you know, all of that. Do I love eating angel hair? Absolutely. I just don't like it. It's too delicate for me. I'm rustic.
I probably should have asked this earlier, but did you make the pappardelle as well?
We did.
You did.
So I went to Italy pasta school in Bologna, and
I love that there's a Bologna, Italy.
right, and it was super cool, and I learned literally so much. It was really my first time traveling outside the United States. You know, I mean, clearly I'm that guy that thinks America's the greatest thing since since apple pie, because it is. But in Italy,
apple pie.
In Italy, it was like, to me, it sunk in like, wow, there's some really cool other places, you know, and Italy is definitely one of them.
I imagine they taught you to make how do we make pappardelle pasta?
So it's a super, really difficult recipe. It is.
It is?
Flour and eggs.
I thought he was being sarcastic.
And but what I learned there is the eggs, is the difference.
The farm fresh. The orange eggs.
Oh my God, they're blood orange. It was literally one of the most beautiful things I'd ever seen. Right when we cracked it open, I was like, "What is that?" I thought it was like an ostrich egg or something, but it is what they.
Our eggs ain't that color in
Yeah.
America.
I said we went out to the chicken farm where they got the eggs, and I was talking to the
Walmart's
farmer.
has all the yellow eggs.
Yes, and I said, "What do you feed your chickens?" And he very clearly said, "Corn." What do you feed yours? And I was like, I don't know, but I don't think it's just corn. And so that was the biggest life-changing part of the whole thing is the egg.
The simple, beautiful egg.
And so then after that, pasta is all about the knead and the roll and the cut and and for me, I'm never gonna. You'll see. For me, the noodles, are not perfect, and that's the beauty of it, is that they're my noodles.
They're like snowflakes.
Yeah.
Or children. They're all different, but you love them. You love them equally.
Well, listen, I have two older brothers, and the name of the restaurant Scallywags came from, and that's what my mom called me, because I was not always. You stay right there. I'll get you
Daredevil silverware.
Here we go. Get in. You don't have to deal with
I'm
that.
good with that. Dirt don't hurt.
We got people for that.
We got people for that.
So, my mother was a wonderful parent, single mother, and et cetera. And I was a terrible child, which is how you probably end up as a chef, right?
You seem super down to earth and chill to me.
Now, and so, but I called both my brothers last Mother's Day, and I was like, well, gentlemen, I think you two are racing for second and third, because old Chef Chris has made a comeback, baby. And so anyway.
It's never too late to come back.
That's right.
Awesome. Well, let's dig in, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So I guess we hit up this salad?
Yep.
All right. Okay, so what's the appropriate way to approach?
So depending on how many people are eating, I would say sharing is caring. I'd like you to cut it like a thick Caesar cut across, and then
all right, I'm going to do it.
You'll get
so for those of you who aren't watching on YouTube, this is a beautiful half piece of romaine that's been char grilled. There's chunks of bacon and onions, a beautiful purple, and some lumps of blue cheese just hiding underneath of this oniony, bacony
schmeltiness.
Delightful schmeltiness.
All
right.
One more.
Cut it into thirds.
And, all right.
And
dig in.
we dig in. Here we go. Cheers to you out there. Cheers to you, Chef. Thank you so much.
I'm so glad to have you, and what an honor for you to come in and hang out with me and break bread. I love that part of this. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I would love to have you over. I'll cook something. You can't see it, but you can hear me chewing it.
So, saltiness of the bacon,
tang.
all of it.
The balsamic,
all of it.
The blue cheese, like the richness.
The wilting of the lettuce just a little bit, and then the crunch of everything else is like, it's got all the things in all the right places, right? Fat, acid,
It's very well balanced. It's very robust for a salad.
I say it.
That's a protein
right.
lover's dream. and a vegetarian's nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, I say it all the time. It's the most dude-friendly salad on the market. It's like, for me, I love bacon. I love great blue cheese. I love all of it, and
I love any sautéed onion. There's one of the first things as like a teenager when I was starting to like eat different food after that whole picky childhood thing was just caramelized onions.
Yep.
And they were like candy.
Yeah.
So for a kid who doesn't want onions ever, right, to finally like have that really good sautéed, caramelized, delectable little onion. Yeah. It changed my world. After that, every burger had to have caramelized onions on it, or I want caramelized onions on everything.
Yeah, that's one of the things I most love about food is like, okay, you don't like cold blue cheese, that's fine, right? But warmed blue cheese is a totally different animal. And every chef and it has that aha culinary moment, like you bite into something and it changes your life, and makes you, for me, it was a gyro hero in Washington D.C. with my aunt, and I was just like, it was street food, and I was 12, and I bit into that, and it was like, oh my gosh, like what is this? This is
lamb,
that
tzatziki, all things you've never probably tried before.
It's great, yeah.
I just got to steal a piece of this bacon. Where's the bacon from?
Montana.
So,
my entire career, before I even knew where Wisconsin was, before, there was a company called Newski's Bacon. Greatest bacon I'd ever had in my life. Can I say that? Newski's? Can I say that?
Sure. Hey, Newski's. Cheers to you. I hear you have great bacon.
Yeah, but this is going to hurt their feelings. And then somebody somebody brought me a pound of this artisan bacon out of Montana, and it was just different, a whole new level. And so that's where this comes from. We connected with the farmer, and it is not inexpensive. It is the second most expensive protein in my restaurant, and totally worth every bite.
Oh, yeah.
Every bite.
I mean, don't skimp on bacon,
Yeah. There's too much bacon, said no one, ever.
Not every vegan, because some people just don't like it. But the one thing a vegetarian will always say is they miss bacon.
Yeah.
It's always the bacon.
Right.
The person who finally masters the vegan bacon
oh my
will be a trillionaire.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I don't know if they can. That purple seaweed stuff kind of tastes like bacon. It's the closest thing I've ever tried that almost tastes like bacon. But the kelp, that purple.
Oh, sure.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's close.
It's close. It's not the same, but it's close.
I mean, we have a vegan burger here, vegetarian burger here that, I mean, clearly I'm a carnivore, right? I mean, I just, and it's all good. I just stay in my lane, like, but I don't serve anything on my menus that I can't eat or can't enjoy or whatever. And we finally got that recipe just right. 3 people returned their burgers thinking it was meat.
Seriously?
Just on Friday.
Just on Friday?
Just on Friday.
Okay, I'm going to need to try that burger.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's pretty good.
There's I like a black bean burger.
Yeah.
Because it's not trying to be a hamburger, but it's still hearty and delicious.
Yep.
And I've tried like the other like fake meats, and it has that aftertaste. I don't know. Maybe another life if that's all I ever tried.
And the chef that was here before me developed one, and it was really, really good, right? And it opened my eyes. And then we just started adding our touch to it, and all of a sudden we bit into it, and it was like, okay, there it is.
There it is.
Right. And
so can you don't have to give me the whole recipe, but can you give me the trailer version?
So I mean, it's how many times most of the vegetarians I meet are super spicy because they just have to have flavor. They're eating stuff that doesn't, and so if you can develop something that's not spicy but still delicious for them, it's great.
They love it.
Right.
Yeah, and they'll come back over and over and over and over again.
And so it starts with a manufactured type of beef and goes with some like some smokiness liquid and if we have 3 or 4 different spices and then grilling it just right. You don't have to turn, you got to cook it to their temperature. You don't have to turn it into a puck. And that's the difference. It's like our burgers are 30% prime rib, 30% beef rib, 30% brisket, and 10% chuck. My burgers are life-changing.
I have to applaud that. I love nothing more than a good burger.
Yeah. And they're not,
anytime you put brisket in the burger, you can't go wrong with it.
And especially that amount. I mean, our burgers are not inexpensive to us. The custom grind is expensive. But when I'm watching through my chef window and a new person bites into that first burger and they go, they lean back, you see it, man. I love that, They just lean beautiful. Back and oh my gosh, dude, Saturday night, walked all the way from around the bar, straight into the kitchen like a bug light. No permission, no anything. Just arms out. I've seen it before. I knew what was happening. Everybody back off. It's just hugging me, yo.
Thank you for that burger. It brought tears to my eyes.
Big dude hug. It was great.
That's true appreciation.
Saturday night I watched, or Friday night I saw, a little 12-year-old girl put one of my giant 10-ounce burgers down like a champ. I was just too. It was wow, and she's I walked over, how was everything? She's best burger I've ever had, chef. Like that, at this age in my career, that's the moments you're living for, I mean, that's a, 12-year-old and a big dude hugging you on the same night. Come on.
Must be doing something right here.
Yeah. And that's the nice thing about here at Noble Roots is, I call Pat Walt Disney, because he's that guy. He's this guy, right? He's Walt. And then there's supporting crew, right? And we've always needed this. I was Pat in all of my restaurants, but I was stuck in the back too, making sure, because if I come out here and I'm telling you this is the best steak you've ever eaten and my guys aren't delivering.
Doesn't look good.
Right. And so I had to touch every meal and then touch every guest and et cetera. So now we're like this, incredible tag team wrestling crew, and
when you say something, you can believe it.
Yes,
right? It's
back it up.
Such a good feeling when you can say, no, this is going to be amazing, and it's truly amazing, and you don't ever have to worry. And you get hugs.
Yeah, and I think I probably said it earlier. I mean, there's a lot of places that buy inexpensive food and make it taste great. I love those restaurants too, right? But I've made my career, on buying the best products I could ever find and just don't overcook them, don't over season, let it stand on its own. Let your fresh Hawaiian seafood stand on its own. 37 hours ago it was swimming in Hawaiian waters. And then FedEx to me. I mean, for it to be any better, you gotta be hanging out with, Jack Johnson.
In Hawaii.
Jack Johnson and Kelly Slater on their island to have any fresher fish than we have here.
Just a little dabble, do you? Let it speak for itself.
Yes,
right? Yes. I get comments all the time, where's the seasoning? And I'm like, it didn't need it. It spoke for itself.
Yeah. And that's the beautiful part of my career, it's it's been a long, good career. And, I had the pleasure of working for some really great chefs that are never going to be on a TV show because they're the old school back of the house pirates, but it was only about the food to them. And so that's the great side. The other side of that for me, I always wanted to touch my guests. I always wanted to say hello. I wanted to check on them. I wanted to get to know them, and Pat and I do that very well here at Noble Roots in Georgia.
I mean, I've heard nothing before even coming out here. This is my first time being here too. Everybody, had I known, I would have demanded that burger.
Almost.
But I'll be back. I'm doing another thing where it's just called I Eat Burgers, and I go eat burgers.
Boom.
So I'm gonna come back and do just. So much publicity I'm giving this place because this guy's awesome.
Yeah. Your burger's pinkies out, baby. It's going to be pinkies out.
But we're not done yet because first I need to try these noodles.
Let's do it.
Because the famous New Orleans andouille shrimp. All right, let me describe this for you here. We have these beautiful, beautiful pappardelle pasta that is hand cut by Chef Chris here. We have these huge Georgia shrimp.
Yeah.
Huge Georgia shrimp, some pieces of andouille sausage, some nice hunks of Parmesan.
Give me this one that you already touched.
Okay.
Grab the tail.
All right, all right. It's got, it smells like crab bisque because the sauce is crab bisque. So we got crab, shrimp, andouille sausage. And I'm just going to dive in all together. That's look at that. That's a noodle. That's like the McDonald's French fry that like I'm like, why is it so big? All right, here we go. You can taste the freshness of the noodles just in the texture.
It's so funny for me.
Sorry, guys.
You gotta say, I'm gonna give you a minute to gather yourself there, huh?
Mm-hmm. That shrimp is ginormous.
I know. It looks so beautiful.
I mean, it's sweet, it's savory, it's just got that light hint of just the ocean, but like not fishy in any way, just super like that refreshing crab taste.
A little bite to the noodles.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh, the noodles are perfect. Those are fantastic. Sausage, meaty.
Sausage, baby.
I feel like I'm in New Orleans.
I told you should hear jazz music in your head when you're
Smells
eating.
way better though.
Than New Orleans.
Than New Orleans, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was born in Lafayette, and so, that side of my cooking comes out, especially in the winter. I'm super etouffee and just all that stuff, and less so in the summer. I'm more, barbecuey and grilly and, and all of that.
It's like your wintertime comfort foods, right? So,
yeah. And it's funny, I've lived all over the world. I mean, all over the country, from the Keys to parts of Utah, and every place has that early on food that was really inexpensive because everybody was poor, and you know what I mean? Like, and so, one of the things from New Orleans is their andouille, that sausage, right? Well, the filler is sometimes, if it's great, is potato, right? Why? Because they had potatoes, and so it filled it. But then when you're cooking it, it all draws into that potato. That orange oil sucks into the potato, and and all of a sudden you're just like, what is that? Well, why did they do it? Because they were poor. Because they weren't, And out of that, in Georgia, we know the types of foods that come out of us being poor. In Texas, in Arizona, you name it, they got it.
I mean, some of the best foods and delicacies, right, that we consider delicacies now were poor man's food to begin with, right? Like lobster. Yeah. Do you hear about this fish? There's a fish. I can't remember the name of it, but in this small island, this guy had been looking for this fish that they thought were extinct for like years and years. It was gone, right? And he went to this island. And turns out that these fish were still there. They were plentiful there. And the locals were just like, that's just those.
Trash.
We eat those all the time. Those are trash fish. Yeah, take them all, man. We're cool. And he's like, are you kidding me? I've spent my whole life searching for this breed of fish, and you have thousands of them? And they're like, yeah, those are trash. You can take them.
Right. As many as you want.
As many as you want. Go ahead. He's just like, what is happening?
Same thing in Wisconsin, lawyer fish or whatever that, smell. All this stuff, is so sought after now and so loved by the locals because that's what they grew up on, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean.
It's a comfort food.
Yeah.
It's like whenever I'm sick, my mom always made me runny eggs and toast.
Yeah.
I tell people that, and they're like, oh, it's the last thing I want when I was sick, but that's what I got.
Takes you back.
Mm-hmm.
Takes you back. I make a fabulous grilled cheese because I watched my grandmother smash white bread and American cheese into butter and smash it into my most favorite grilled cheese on the planet. You know, what does it need? Nothing. It needs Nana's spatula and, you know, and her little arthritic hands, you know. Yeah, no.
The love.
Yeah. And you know, my grandmother really just standing next to her and cooking. That's where it started. You know, I mean, that's, you know, I mean, my grandmother moved in with us when I was 13. We lived on St. Simon's.
All right.
And every Thursday night was like salmon patty night, right?
Yeah, there's another cheap one.
I you know, I remember her pouring that salmon out of the can, and it looked like cat food to me. I wanted no part of it.
My grandma was not a cook. My grandfather was the cook, so I grew up watching him like make ham soup.
Yeah.
And vegetable stew and one.
Where was that? Ohio.
Ohio.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I'm just going to tell this real quick story, and then I want to get back to grandma. But electric stoves come out, right? And my grandfather was going to make gravy, but he had cooked the roast in the pan, in the glass pan in the oven. He takes it out.
Yeah.
And my grandmother, who's not a cook at all, I've never saw that woman cook, starts yelling at him, Jim, that's got to break. Because he's heating it and trying to make gravy in the glass pan. And he's like, oh, that's fine, Helen. And 2 seconds later, the whole thing just goes, horse shit. Yeah. The only thing I think I ever saw my grandfather make a mistake, and it was just so funny.
In the kitchen. And what worse is a grandmother who isn't cooking, right? Calls the shot from the living room.
That's gotta blow up, Jim.
Yeah. So and Nana made these salmon patties, and like I said, the salmon came out of cans and it looked like literally like a cat food to me. Maybe bad cat food.
Smells a little like cat food.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so I started going to the pier and catching crabs because we lived on St. Simon's, and Nana and I made crab cakes together. This was it. You know, I learned how to catch the crab, cook the crab, together. She and I, we had no idea. Like, there's no telling how much crab we messed up trying to figure it out. But out of that, developed on my menu Nana's crab cakes. And but she was super cheap with the crab, and I'm not. You know, that's the only change.
Well, she had to feed all of you guys, right?
Well, and depression child, and you know, all of that. And but you know, Nana used to leave the wrapper from the butter. She had a stack of them, you know, and I never could figure out what it was for.
What was it for?
It's for cast irons.
Oh, she just rub it out. After she washed them, she'd rub them with the...
Right, man. Like, it's brilliant.
Oh, come on, TikTokers. Yeah. Where are you on that one?
After you grapeseed oil your rust off your pans, coat it with some butter, baby, and you won't have to do it anymore.
That's brilliant. Yeah. I just spray mine with a little cooking spray.
Yeah.
Hang it up. But, yeah, you waste not, want not, right? Yeah. They did. They saved everything.
Everything.
We are the most wasteful.
Oh, my gosh.
People.
Yeah.
And how? We just went, that's just 2 generations ago.
Right.
From like super recycling, reusing all the bottles, canning, you know, to just
all of that.
Throwing it. And I hate putting a sandwich in a plastic baggie, in a Ziploc baggie to like take it with me somewhere. Yeah. But I have to, I do it.
Right.
But I hate it because I'm like, this is such a waste. I'm just carrying it
we need
for a half an hour, an hour somewhere.
Develop the purple kelp sandwich bag so your sandwich tastes like bacon and it's good for the earth.
Well,
dang it. I just let my greatest idea out ever.
We'll cut that out. There is no such thing. There is no such thing.
No kelp baggies. So you know, all of that. But I mean, can you imagine how happy my grandmother, who spent every day in the kitchen cooking for everybody, you know,
would be to see that on the menu?
The canned food. What a brilliant time for her, right? When the canned food started coming out, like, oh my gosh, lima beans in 20 minutes, not a 6-hour process. In that was lost, though. The loss of learning how to shell our own beans and just all of that, prepping them and cooking them and putting fat back or whatever. And so I think that's what, for me, at this age in my career, is bringing back those techniques and turning it on to the next generation, because we don't want to lose that.
No.
You know? I mean, I'd love to know how to make a spearhead for an arrow. It's a lost art. I don't know how to do it. I'm never going to know how to do it.
Did Grandma leave the recipe book, the index cards, anything?
I got them all, baby.
You got them all? All right. Somebody finally got them.
Yeah.
You'd be amazed how many people talk about grandma's recipes, but yet nobody seems to have it, or like grandma wasn't going to give them away. Right. Like they just locked in the vault or locked in the head. Yep. And they're never going to get passed down. And it's why? Pass them down, please.
I buy every church cookbook I can lay my hands on because there's going to be one brilliant old school recipe in there. And it starts with, my grandmother showed me this recipe. And you're like, yes, gotcha.
Brilliant, sir. I've never thought of that.
Yeah, no, I clearly we both have a ton of cookbooks, yeah? You have a storage unit for them or something, you know?
It's growing. I'm going to need one.
You know, some of them are, some of them are, like the Kitchen Confidential kind of chef cookbook, right? Or the French Laundry, or they're those. And some of them are Moss Creek's Baptist Church, Ladies Bazaar cookbook, Some of them are for memories, and some of them are for just that one, ingredient that you've forgotten about or forgotten to use, or, like I used to make fun of chefs, man. I'm like, how do you lose a recipe, bro? And now I'm like, oh my God, I can't make paella. How did it happen?
I can make paella, but it's not the paella I want to make. Google.
Yeah. And so, the recipes, that's what cookbooks do for me.
That's smart.
Flipping through and, when's the last time you made shrimp ceviche or whatever? And I was literally just flipping through a coastal book the other day and like, boom. And the next thing you know, we're making ceviche because I have a great ceviche recipe. I just wasn't thinking about it. And it's just the tickler file, baby. Tickler file. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking up like 60s recipes or something the other day, and the Baked Alaska popped up, and I was like, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. So what a cool dish.
And you don't see that anymore.
Cherry's Jubilee at the table. Remember
Cherry's Jubilee? Oh yeah. You don't see that anymore either. I mean, there's so many things that just used to be so normal.
Right.
And you think it's going to be forever, and it's not.
Yeah.
Like
Bananas Foster, Cherry's Jubilee, Tableside Caesars, all of that stuff's so cool. So cool.
How long can avocado toast really last?
Not my house. I'm kidding. I love it too.
I've never had one that I like. I've never had one that I like. It's just
try crumbling up some bacon on it. It'll be fun.
But it's a fad. In like 20 years from now, people are going to be looking back and like their grandma's recipes and be like, avocado toast?
Yeah, this is terrible.
Oh, what is that? Why?
Right. I
get it. It's good for you.
I keep waiting for
We're avoiding the butter, I guess.
For Tab to make a comeback because it's actually the cure for cancer or something. You know what
Tab.
I mean?
Oh, yeah, Tab.
Chocolate Fago.
Let me get a Diet Tab.
Diet Tab with a lemon, please. No ice.
There was. I think Tab made it to a lemon flavor.
Yeah,
and then
they did.
I think it's still out there. I'm pretty sure you can still buy Tab somewhere up there on Amazon.
Well, what else you got, man? I got a kitchen to run.
Oh, you got a kitchen to run.
To eat and run. Well, what do you got?
Hey, man, that's cool.
You know what? I'll just shut the restaurant down tonight and we'll just cook.
All right.
Just me and you.
Just me and you. Cook. All right. We're going to get fat tonight. Well, sir, I do appreciate you taking the time to feed me. And now you got to go feed a bunch more other people.
I was going to take a cool, delicate bite like that, but...
No, I tried earlier. That one noodle was so individualized.
Give me the reverse. Cheers.
Cheers. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on.
If we don't choke on our food. Make
your
way.
Gross everybody out with she crab on my luxurious tombstone-looking mustache.
Flavor Savor.
My mom hates it.
Your mom hates it?
She's like, it makes you look sad all the time. I'm like, it makes me look like a hot 53-year-old. Come on.
Makes me look like I own a Harley and I'm a badass. Also Flavor Savor. Flavor Savor. Cool,
Chicks dig it.
Thanks for having me, man.
My pleasure, bro. What a good time.
Yeah. So, everybody, if you are anywhere near Pooler, Georgia, you need to make your way to Noble Roots and...
Just outside Savannah.
Just outside Savannah. It's cooler and cooler, so they say, but it's still pretty fucking hot out there.
Yep. Certainly cooler in this Pooler.
Certainly cooler in this Pooler. If you want to make a reservation, you know the number off the top of your head?
I do not.
Cool, me neither. The number, all the contact information is right down there. You can find it all. Give them a call. Get out here. Have an amazing burger. Have a vegetarian burger. Go to New Orleans if you feel like it. And if you're really into a hearty, meaty salad, this man's got you covered. Where can we follow you again?
Right here.
Well, here, but if I want to find you online, where am I going to find you again?
I just got here. I probably don't have any of that stuff set up. You just come.
You got a YouTube out there. So
Yeah.
You can YouTube.
Old school Scallywags videos.
Old school Scallywags videos.
Check out my son of a Scallywag, owns my original restaurant.
What?
Yep, and real proud of him. And he was on a big Wisconsin food thing. I don't know. Do I mention that kind of stuff?
Sure, I don't care.
Wisconsin Foodie, and so
Good
check
for
him
him.
out. Yeah. And
Son of a Scallywag.
yeah, big old good-looking rascal, huh? But I tell people, I mean, he's 6'7". He and I can't cook together because he's like got the reach of a California condor. So he's always like flipping my stuff for me and stuff. And then I'm like, dude, yeah, yeah. And so son of a Scallywag, check him out. This is Marshall. And if you think he's good looking at 25, you should have seen me, baby. I was an Adonis.
You're still a beautiful man, sir. You're still a beautiful man.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, cheers, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And go check out Noble Roots and go watch my TV show.
Yep, do it.
Cheers.
Yeah. Congratulations, bro. So proud of you.
Oh, super proud.
Yeah. Living the dream, baby.
Living the dream, baby. Happy Monday.
Yeah.